Nat's True Crime podcast, and I'm going to talk about the Bridgewater Triangle. Bridgewater Triangle is a 200 square mile vortex that rumors to be both cursed and haunted. The triangle traditional borders are revealed by connecting the dots between Abington to the north, Freetown to the southeast, and Rehoboth to the southwest, encompassing some or all of the towns include Brockton, Whitman, West Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, Bridgewater, Middleborough, Dayton, Berkeley, Rainham, Norton, Easton, Lakeville, Seacock, Taunton, and Fall River. It also includes the 5,000-acre Freetown Forest and the 17-acre wetlands called the Hockomock Swamp, known as the breath heart of the Triangle. It is one of many reasons that Bridgewater Triangle is one of Massachusetts' 5 most haunted places. Hockomock is Algonquin for the place where spirits dwell. The name could not be a more appealing, since the swamp is one mass grave that result of King Philip's War and the bloodiest battle in American history. Over the years, there has been unusual high volume of murders and satanic rituals, hauntings, and barefoot sightings, cattle mutilation, UFO sightings, orbs, strange curiosities, and all manners of strange encounters. However, it was not until the 1970s the cryptological and the research Lauren coal miner carried out paranormal investigations in the area and interviewed with witnesses, then put the research results together and connect the triangular dots as a result. Distinct geographic triangle emerged in which he dubbed the Bridgewater Triangle. His book of the same name became the definitive work on this. Also of paranormal properties. Redefined southeastern Massachusetts as a supernatural hotspot. Let's take a look at some of them. Hockomock Swamp is a wet, soggy place approximately a 17,000-acre and the beating heart of the Bridgewater Triangle. English colonists called it the Devil Swamp because of its strange activity, orbs of light reportedly. Flat inflow of the swamp during the early morning hours and just before the sunset. EVPs abound here, makes it one reason why the Bridgewater Triangle is one of the 5 most haunted places in Massachusetts. during the 17th century. The Hockomock Swamp was used as a fortress by the Wampanoag tribe, again in the invasion of the English settlers who thought the swamp useless. Bering and the Wampanoag of the region placed a high value on the swamp, repeated it as it had properties that them with years of game. They also used the swamp as a sacred burial ground. The English Indian soldier John Alderman shot and killed King Philip, or Metacom, chief of the Wampanoag Confederacy, on August 20th, 1676. King Philip was hung and beheaded, drawn and quartered, and his head was placed on a spike and displayed at the Plymouth Colony. Two decades. According to legend, the land is cursed because of orbs, spirit lights, and UFO sightings in the area since the 1970s. Apparitions of the American Indians are occurrences. Unidentified flying objects, often in the form of bright balls of light or large, unusual spacecrafts, and unnatural animals spotted, ranging from unusual reports of animals that are not found within the area, such as panthers and bears, to more of supernatural claims of a giant snake and enormous vicious dogs. Paranormal homologies include scene of Bigfoot ghosts, poltergeists, and shadow people. The Thunderbird sightings, giant bird or pterodactyl-like flying creature with wingspan up to 20 feet are claimed to have been seen in the Hockomock Swamp and nearby Taunton and Easton. Includes a report by the Norton Police Sergeant Thomas Downey. Native Americans cursed land. Cursed. According to one tale, Native Americans have cursed the swamp centuries ago because of conflict with the colony settlers. A revered object of the Wampanoag people, a belt known as the Wampanoag Belt was lost during King Philip's War. Legend says that the area known is paranormal unrest to the fact that the belt was lost from the Native American people. A Pukwudgie, created from Algonquin folklore. A folklore. The location of the Wampanoag people consider them to be dangerous tricksters. Been especially associated with the Freetown State Forest within the Bridgewater Triangle. A Pukwudgie is also spelled Pukwudgie and also spelled Pukwudgie is translated Harry Schoolcraft, a little wild man of the woods that vanishes, is a human-like creature of the Wampanoag folklore found in Delaware and Prince Edward Island sometimes, and says to be 2 to 3 foot tall, 6.61 to 91 kilometers. According to legends, Pukwudgies, they can appear and disappear at will. Shapeshift, of which the most common form of creature that looks like a porcupine from behind, and half troll, half human from the front, and walks upright.
Lure people to their deaths. Use magic, launch
people to their death and use magic and launch poisonous arrows and create fires. Native Americans believed that Pukwudgies were once friendly to humans, but them turned against them and are best left alone. According to Lord, a person who annoyed a Pukwudgie would be subject to nasty tricks by it, or subject to being followed by the Pukwudgie, who would cause trouble for them, then as known to kidnap people, push them off cliff, attack their victims, and shoot and spears, and to use scents to blind their victims. Pukwudgies are said to be the enemy of culture heroes, Marshop and Granny. One story from the Wampanoag folklore explains that they became causing and tormenting the natives out of jealousy and of the defection and affection the had from Mashop. They exiled them to a different part of North America. The Pukwudgies have since been hostile to humans and took revenge by killing Mashop's 5 sons. Some variations suspect that they killed Mashon himself. The Pukwudgie is also native to America. A short, gray-faced, large-eared creature distantly related to the European goblin. Fiercely independent, tricky, and not overall fond of humankind. Whether magical or mundane, it's possible its own powerful magic. Pukwudgies hunt with deadly poisonous arrows and enjoy playing tricks on humans. The elusive Bigfoot. The Bigfoot sightings near increased in numbers during the 1970s, mostly from reputable reporters like police and newscasters. For example, for April 8th, 1970, 2 officers were parked in a prescruiser near the Hockomock Swamp. Suddenly, the car's rear end was lifted into the air and dropped with a loud and disturbing bang. Both officers quickly scurried the car around, turning their spotlight on something large and hairy, resembling a bear as it ran upright on 2 legs behind a house. Unfortunately, despite a thorough search of the area, no bear or other creatures was ever found. One woman from West Bridgewater heard a noise in her yard during the evening. Looking out her window, she saw a large bipedal creature eating one of the pumpkins from her garden. The hairy animal looked at her, then took the pumpkin into the woods with a grunt. Number of books have been written about the Bridgewater Triangle and documentaries and counts paranormal investigations performed by local and national groups. It's a perplexing piece of land, really documented and researched by some of the top paranormal in the business, including newscasters and law enforcement from some of credible, but what is it? Is it a vortex? A location that some like a tight in the veil of other realities? Is it the embodiment of a cursed legacy, forged by centuries of brutal treatment, managed treaties to design to cheat the natives of what was rightfully theirs. They we theirs. We do not know. What we do know is that amount of paranormal activity there, the rarity of occurrence and a intensity of its manufactured are unable in the state, making it easy one of the 5 most haunted locations in Massachusetts. Thanks for watching my podcast.